Like, I wanted to do this video. It's gonna be quick. I got a little engagement I gotta run to right quick. But I wanted to do it because I thought about the last video I did. And I thought about the one before. And it really brought tears to my eyes because it made me reminisce, gave me a little bit of nostalgia of a time when my mother and father had separated. Now, I come from a generation where in the 70s, where the parents, the mother and father still stayed in the house. Grandmama and granddaddy definitely stayed. And then the mother and father still stayed because of children. So, but it was at the pre-stages of destroying the middle class in America and destroying the black family and taking the black man out. I was a child facing that. The reason I want to do it because my kids faced divorce. They faced it. Me and my first wife, we divorced. I had a 6-year-old daughter, Brittany. My son Jamari was 13, and then Chris was 7. Chris had to have been like maybe 16, 17, my oldest son. The reason I want to do this video is because of this. My mother and father had separated. It was like a week, and he wasn't home. I was used to him being home every day. I was used to him. He'd come in with that smile, with that joy, because in astrology, your father is your sun. Your mother is your moon. Can you imagine waking up one day and the sun's not there? It's not there. Can you imagine wait 6 o'clock come, 7 o'clock come, 8 o'clock come, and it's still dark outside. 9 o'clock come. I remember that my mother had put us in a van. I'd be going so fast that I cut off my sentences. She had put us in a van because she knew of the woman that he was messing with, and when they separated, he had went to stay with her. She knew what the woman was and all. She put us in the van. I remember I was sitting behind her in the van. She was in the driver's seat. I had an older sister, a younger brother, and a younger sister. And my sister wasn't born yet, my baby sister, but my brother was a baby. And she went there and she had her pistol. Because see, the difference in that generation was they weren't all this, oh, fuck it, just get on out and I'm going to go my separate. No, they wasn't going to give up their investment. The women, grandmama and granddaddy, which would be their great parents, they stayed. They didn't care. They wasn't going nowhere. But then the generation before me, they wasn't letting shit. You wasn't just going because he came and fuck you get to get her husband. They wasn't going for that shit. They wasn't. We ain't letting this shit go. So then she had a pistol. I'm like, oh, Lord, my mom mean than a rattlesnake with a toothache. She was, just, goddamn, my tooth, I'm going to bite something, And she went. Now, but the point of the story is the children. And I remember as a child, when he came, she confronted that house and he came out. And when he came out, I started crying like a baby when I saw my daddy. I hadn't seen him in like 6, 7 days. I was going to school and I'm talking about, boy, shit, ask him. I was going to school and every nigga that opened his mouth, I was fighting a fight that I shouldn't have been fighting. I was angry because I was, everybody had their dad. I'm like, man, I didn't understand it. And I kept going to the principal. My mom came to school and beat me in front of the class. Because I was just mad. I was just, my daddy not home, and I'm going to get back to what I was in front of, but I was at school. I was acting, I was cutting ass. And I was mad. And then she left school. She had beat me in front of the class, left school. Shoot, right when she left school, Joker teased me out boxing, dead in this eye. George Williams, I'll never forget it. She had to come back to school and beat me again. I was acting out because I was fighting for something that I knew was mine, that it was falling apart. And when I see my daddy come out the house, he came to talk to her. I just started pouring out crying, cuz. I ain't gonna lie, I'll never forget that. I was crying. I was like, man, your daddy is your sunshine in your life. He that lion that come out the woods when the mama lion fighting the hyenas. He come out them goddamn woods and he ain't nothing but goddamn business. And so what I wanted to do this video because of the collateral damage that's done when we divorced. They separated, and it wasn't long as shit. Dad was back home, and I wasn't slapping that baseball out of the park. Asked anybody, shit, went around for 200 yards. Cause I wanted, instead of me fighting that, I took that energy and cause I played sports, 3 sports, and shit, game over. They like, shit, we ain't gonna beat them because they gonna run about 3 or 4 times. I was, you'll hear a lot of athletes that make it to the pros, they'll say, man, my daddy wasn't there. And they act a monkey because they'll say, my grandma raised my mom. And when they go out on that field, but they don't know the energy that they're using, what it's fueled by. What fuels it? What fuels them? That you took away their son. And then the replacement of it is their grandmother and mother, but you can't replace the son. And so, I remember when my first wife, when we had separated and we was about to go through divorce, I remember that I had lost my mind, man. Because I was in court and them people was telling me, you get to see your kids here, I used to be home. I remember when I taught my daughter how to whistle, Brittany. She kept coming in. She's a very good learner. She graduated from college and a teacher now. But she kept coming in because I would teach my kids. My wife didn't want to teach them. I taught them math. I taught them science. I taught them everything. When they were little kids, bringing them up, how to count, how to do more. And I would teach her how to, and she kept saying, Daddy, you'll teach me how to whistle? And she kept coming. She'll come back the next. I said, no, Brittany, you got to fold your tongue, wet it a little bit, and do it. And then one day I was sitting down eating. She came in the room. See the importance of it. See, that little thing that I remember, I taught her that. Because people would hear me, I could whistle real loud. She said, Daddy, you'll show me how to do that? I was at football practice. She was a cheerleader. My son was playing football. I was taking her to practice every day. But I'm not going to take y'all into mine. But what I'm trying to show you is the importance of a father. And when these days, now when we're divorcing, you're not thinking about them turning their date. It's collateral damage. Like I said, when I seen my dad, all I did was stop crying. I wanted my daddy home. I ain't caring about none of that other shit. I was like, man, fuck this. When school came the next day, shit, I'm finna go beat somebody's ass. Because I wanted to fight for something that I shouldn't have had to fight for. He's my daddy. Why should I have to fight for him to be at my house and be my daddy? But now we'll just leave. The nigga got him a little young girl. He don't care nothing about no churn, about you worrying about no daddy. Yeah. It's selfish. And I mean, it really is. I mean, because I remember, man, when I never wanted to leave my kids and when my first marriage, my wife divorced me, and when she did, I was thinking about all the things that when we was in court, I was saying like, man, I feed my kids because she worked late. I cooked for them. I had them taught them the ABCs, their numbers, and I was like, well, and then they was telling me when I can come see them. They're saying, well, you can come I was looking at them like, these people are fucking crazy. You telling me when I can see my motherfucking kid? I said, I got lost in space. Will Robinson, I was looking for the damn robot. I was looking for Dr. Smith because I was lost in motherfucking space. I was in that motherfucker. And so when I left out the courtroom, I went and sat like on a thing and I had a panic attack. I called the ambulance. I had a panic attack because I was like, what the And I just had a panic attack. I just lost. I was like, man, because I was so scared that they took my kids from me, man. They had took my kids. And I just wanted to do this because, and then the other thing, like, man, you know what? So then like weeks later, I know I'm going through divorce. I ain't around my kids. I'm fucked up. I went back to the house I grew up in. My sister had it. And I'd be lying in bed. And I had good insurance. I have very good insurance on my job. I went to the doctor. I grabbed the doctor by his shoulders. Man, I'm dying. He checked me out. He said, ain't nothing wrong with you. 2 days later, I go back. I see my leg. Look at my leg, man. My leg. Look at that spot. See that spot? I must be got leukemia because I kept thinking I was dying. And I go back to him. He said, it's nothing wrong with you. I'll go back again. I said, man, look, I got a bump on my neck. Anything that would go wrong, I thought I was dying. I was so panicky because I was experiencing a spiritual death. That's what divorce is. I don't think it's nothing worse than it. Even a regular death where you lose one of your family, it's not. Because a spiritual death, you can't see it. It's a spiritual bond being broken. And see, you can't, that's why I kept going to the doctor and going, the doctor kept saying, ain't nothing wrong with you, man. You going through a divorce. That's all. I said, man, something wrong, man. Check my blood. Look at my legs. Something wrong. I'm going to die, But it was nothing wrong. It's a spiritual death. And nobody here can heal it on this planet. That pain, that sorrow. They can't heal it. You can go to the doctor all you want. He can't give you no prescription. He can't tell you nothing. But I kept going every week saying, like, man, shit, man, look, my toe. Look at that. Something. Man, I'm gonna die. I got a blood disease. Man, I got brain cancer. Look, man, look at my peeler. He kept saying, there's nothing wrong with you. We don't test it and test it. You're going through a divorce. It's the worst thing I've experienced. And like I said, remember, the thing that took me into my torment when I first started doing that separation, that I knew that I was losing my kids. And that it seemed to me that I had no power. These are my kids. These are my seeds. And the world showed me that you ain't nothing you can do. We taking them from you. You gonna tell you when you can come see them. We can tell you when you get every other weekend how much you gonna pay. And I was like, man, God damn. God damn. And then I remember when I was a little boy, I just kept thinking like, and I guess that's what made me, I started having the panic attacks gone. I healed, because I take it up to the universe and I get my healing. But, what was I about to say? But when I was a little boy, I could remember how I felt. That's why I wanted them back, because I remember that when he was out my house, when my daddy was gone, when I remember, I was crying. I cried. Only thing is pouring out like water. As soon as I seen him, because I was like, don't take him away. He was so good to me. Don't take him away from me. And like I said, when I seen him going there, oh man, goddamn, fuck this. I'm gonna fight the world. I'm gonna fight everything, And then when it came in my life, I hated it because I knew the pain that I was causing them, because I knew the pain that I had experienced. You'll ruin them, children, man. You'll damage them, man. Y'all don't know. Y'all playing. It ain't even with fire. You're playing with the spiritual world. Think of them kids, man. Just think about them, children. No matter what risk, because sometimes in life you have to sacrifice what you want when you don't made a bond with the universe to take care of these people till they can get to a level where they can take care of themselves. And I thank my father that he stayed there with me, and I did a lot of beautiful things. I did a lot of accomplishments that they were very proud of me, because when he did come back in my life, I was about going in 9th grade. I was a goddamn cadet of the year. I was at the military. They said, hey, I'm mixing the cadet of the goddamn year. I wasn't playing. I respected it. I understood it. And I rewarded them. Like in my neighborhood, they said, he's the top. The top grade point average, the top athlete, all that, because I rewarded them, because I was so hurt to think that someone who took care of me and loved me so much would be snatched out of my life. I didn't want that to happen to me. And when it happened to me with my kids, it tore me apart. But it's a spiritual thing that they can't fix. You go to the doctor all you want. He can't fix it when it happened to him. How you gonna fix it when it happened to you? I wanted to have this conversation because we don't think, man. We don't think about the people that we hurting when we go through these divorces. We don't. And I promise you, them kids, man, that shit tear them apart, man. That shit hurt, boy. And now you can imagine when you're a child that they're given authority over you. You can't even make decisions in your life, but you're at a point where you have to make a decision in your heart as a child and say, I gotta let go. I think I'll leave it right there. I think that's good enough. I appreciate you listening.